Welcome to My 11th Circle presents Cricbuzz Live, and we are in the capital today. Today we are talking about Delhi. Very, very interesting, extremely intriguing selection. You look at the squad, the first thing that hits you is outstanding Indian contingent, but are they little light on the overseas contingent? Normally you build your team around overseas stars. That's what a lot of teams do. Who are the overseas stars they're going to build around? Or are they saying, look, we build around the Indian stars and that way we've got people who know the conditions better, we've got more degrees of freedom. So let's look at that Indian contingent first. Delhi could effectively play a top 5 all Indians. If you open with, say, a Shikhar and a Prithvi Shaw, maybe Rahane at 3. There's a reason I'm mentioning that, so don't jump on me so quickly. Why am I saying Rahane at 3? The option is, of course, to play someone like a Shimron Hetmyer, who blows hot, blows cold, but when he's blowing hot, he can be a match winner. Also gives you a left-hander up there, but you've already got Dhawan and Pant with left-handers. That's not such a big factor. But are you willing to gamble on Hetmyer there? Or are you saying, hang on, if we lose an early wicket, someone like a Rahane in the top 6, Prithvi Shaw goes for it. Can we have Rahane in the top 3 coming there? But Shreyas at 4, which is the position he plays for India, is a position he likes. I'm sure he wants to bat at 3, but he might be more valuable at 4. And if you look down the side, the one thing that hits you is who is the finisher in this side. I know they've picked Stoinis for a reason, but Stoinis has got all his runs in recent times at the top of the order. Stoinis at 6 tends to take a little bit of time. Who is among the best players in the death overs? You look at his strike rate, it's ridiculous, almost too good to be true. Will Rishabh Pant be given that role and say, therefore Rishabh, bat at 5 and take us home with that outstanding strike rate in the death overs? And that is why I think they can still play Rahane up at 3. You know what else? You've got 2 outstanding finger spinners. As the tracks get slow, sometimes the finger spinners get more than the wrist spinners. You've got Ashwin and Akshar. You've got potentially a top 7 all India players. It gets even more interesting. If you play a Harshal Patel and a Mohit Sharma, and you've got Amit Mishra, the leg spinner, you can play an all India 11 with this side consisting of 10 internationals. And Harshal Patel, who's had an incredible season this year in domestic cricket, in white ball cricket. But I don't think they'll do that. I think they'll still want to go Stoinis at 6, bowls a heavy ball, will give you those overs in the middle, occasionally, if required, even bowl at the death. Definitely play Kagiso Rabada and Kemo Paul. Now, if you want to play Hetmyer, there are your 4 overseas players. If you don't want to play Hetmyer, it actually gives you the option of taking away a quick if the wicket's so determined and play Sandeep Lamichhane. Lamichhane ahead of Mishra. Mishra has been one of the greats of this tournament. I mean, you look at the numbers over the years, just incredible. But are the diminishing returns starting to set in? Is Mishra now just losing that zip a little? Is he becoming a little mid-overs bowler? His great strength has been delivering wickets in the middle overs. So if Mishra is not doing that, then I think Lamichhane is an option. And I think they've done a very good replacement. I didn't see Jason Roy having much to do in a tournament that was so top-heavy with Indian batsmen. And the presence of Alex Carey as well, by the way. Carey could do the role that Hetmyer can do at number 5. Or in case Pant gets injured, you've got a ready-made top-level wicketkeeper there. But they've replaced Jason Roy with Sams, the Australian left-arm quick, bowls a good slower ball, has a good pace, bowls a good Yorker. And if Rabada needs rest, at some point you're going to play 3 games in 6 days. That's how the structure of the tournament is always. You can have Sams coming in, either for someone like Kemo Paul, who I think with his change of pace is very good at the end, or even if you want to give Rabada a rest. I know you've got Heinrich Nock here, but I just think Sams with the left-handedness is giving you a little bit more. I think that's an inspired purchase. So, what are the chances for Delhi? What are they really relying on? You want Shikhar Dhawan to have a big tournament. You want Prithvi Shaw not to be a little fizzy firecracker, but to go on and give you the 70s, 80s that win you a game. And then you want Shreyas and Pant finishing games for you in style. A couple of little interesting sidelights that could emerge there. I want to be a fly on the wall when Ponting meets Ashwin. My position on that is very clear. If you're outside the crease, you run him out. Ashwin has done that all the time. But there's a far, far bigger role for Ashwin. You look at the history of the tournament, who've been the best power play overs, bowlers, and you'll find Ashwin's name in there. So If Ashwin can give overs in the power play, it allows you to finish with Kimo Paul and with Kagiso Rabada. One of the best bowlers last year for them at the start was Ishant Sharma. He's coming off an injury, but if Ishant can deliver those incisive overs at the top, be almost a bit like Umesh Yadav for Bangalore. Bowl those 3 overs maybe at the top, finish off with one in the 11th or 12th, or maybe 2 around 11 and 13, and allow Paul and Rabada to finish. So I think there's lots of degrees of freedom around the Indian players. I don't know how good Mohit Sharma will be coming back. Avesh Khan is a good option to Ishant Sharma should he need a bit of rest, or if there's a little niggle. So I think a lot of options with the Indian players, maybe a little light with the overseas players, but they'll need the key Indian players for them to go far in this tournament. That leaves the coach. Ricky Ponting has been an outstanding coach, and I think he took Delhi to one of their best results in the tournament in 2019. But look at what that means for the captain, very young captain in Shreyas Iyer. So someone like Ponting can be great support, but Shreyas Iyer is taking the field with the shadow of Ponting, the coach, but also someone like Ashwin, who's been a captain for 2 years, Shikhar Dhawan, who's been such a senior player, Ishant Sharma, such a senior player, and he's going to have to take tough decisions. Ajinkya Rahane, senior player, he's going to have to take tough decisions around these senior players, and that's why one of the things I'm going to look forward to is how does Shreyas Iyer captain this side. So a few issues there, but I think a good core.